Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Close to the Edge podcast. This is episode 6. We're happy to be with you once again in the year 2021 as we continue this journey together. And I really do mean that. We are in this together. We look forward to sharing our views and opinions and thoughts and hopefully some funny stories and some good advice. So as always, I'm joined here with Tommy C. And we look forward to kicking off episode 6. And Tommy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. So before we get started, I just want to say happy birthday. Somebody had a big birthday yesterday. How was that with the fam? Everything good?
Yes, sir. Yes, everything. It was everything I dreamed of. Got to spend some time with the kiddies. The wife and I are back on speaking terms, so that was good. And then, after 38 years on the planet, I'm not sure what more to expect out of a birthday. Gone are the days of the bar scene, not only because of the pandemic, but also just being old AF. So it was a quiet day at home, and couldn't have written it better.
Well, all the listeners want to know what we get. Presents galore. Did the wife get you? The kids get you? What do we got?
Well, the great thing about being married with kids, especially 2 kids, is now it's like group gifts from the kids.
Sure,
so I got socks that were arranged as a cheeseburger. So, and they're all cheeseburger themed socks. And then what else? Got a Skyrim coloring book so that me and Viv can go through that, and that was about it. I think she said the real gift is still in the mail. It's coming. So.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, FedEx, UPS.
Yeah, it must be. The failing postal service must be. I don't know.
All right, on the next episode, you gotta let us fill listeners in what that was.
Oh, I gotta show a little show and tell. And you're right around the corner, my friend.
Yeah. Another 50 days, we'll be right there with you, dude. But I got no wife and no kids, so I'm not gonna get no cheeseburger socks.
Cheeseburger socks. That's what you're missing out on, my friend.
I'm missing out. I didn't know you were such a big cheeseburger guy.
I am. Had one tonight. Mushroom and Swiss.
Who knew? Quite the cheeseburger connoisseur.
You know it.
All right.
But that's probably a good segue for the topic of today. I know you were very keen to talk about this idea of love versus marriage, or maybe how they coexist, or maybe they don't coexist. So, willing to hear your thoughts and where I can chime in with my own personal experience, because we are, even though we had very similar upbringings, Brooklyn, New York, Bay Ridge, what have you, same high school, same college, there seemed to have been a bit of a fork in the road where Tommy C went one way and I sort of went this way. But even though we went through different paths in life, we are still in the same situation of possibly wanting more out of life. So it's very, very interesting to hear our tales. And we'll start with your thoughts on the topic. What is so interesting to you? Presently, I know previous episodes you were big in the dating scene.
Right.
So I wonder what has shifted, not only because of COVID, but just because 3 years have passed since our last episode, really.
Well, I think a lot has changed. I mean, I got older and gained more experience. You kind of know not what you want, but what you don't want. I think that was the biggest thing I've learned over these past few years.
Okay.
But before I go on my little rant here, has your view on marriage changed since you got married, or do you think it's the same as you did before?
No, I mean, marriage to me was always like, what's the point? And my wife, I'll make sure we ban this episode. We'll shadow ban her from listening to this one. But
right.
It's like Valentine's Day. It's like, okay, why are we doing this? Why is everyone on Earth going out spending 10 G's on a diamond ring just because that's like tradition? Before we were married, we were together. In fact, you were there first night, really, our first
right.
date, me and the wifey, St. Patty's Day, 2005. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you were at the wedding, my friend, 2012.
Yeah.
You do the math. We held out as long as possible, but in terms of the tradition of getting the ring, asking the father, having spending all your cheddar on a wedding, it didn't really change much. Marriage, not so much. It's more the snowball of what you know is coming next, which is going to be buy the house, spend all your life savings on a house, then you're going to pop out a kid. Right when you finally have that kid raised and, maybe you can take a breath and have some free time, then you pop out the other one. Right. So now it's like a 9-year commitment of your life to raise kids with no, outside interest or any time to pursue anything else except for podcasting at 7:30 at night down in the basement hiding from your family. So in terms of marriage, it's the sacrament itself, no real views. Nothing really changed between me and the wifey from 2005 until 2012, the day of the wedding. The only thing that really changed was we were out about 10 or 20 grand. So
right.
That's my view, at least. How about yourself, my friend?
So everything that you mentioned, you could have done while not being married, right? You can have kids and not be married. You guys can buy a house, not be married, right? So the real issue I have is the binding financial contract that you had to sign in order to get your license, correct? That you guys had to do. You had to go to City Hall, sign the contract. So under the law,
we didn't really. I mean, I still have separate bank accounts. I wouldn't call it the financial contract of what we signed. It was more of a, what have you. We definitely didn't do a prenup. Maybe we should have, especially with my Dogecoin earnings the past few days. I don't want the wifey knowing about that, or my losses. But, in terms of finances, it's never really been an issue. Even now, the wifey hasn't worked in like 3 years, so I got it all on my shoulders here, my friend. But I know you have some thoughts about this being perhaps the worst financial decision you can make, getting married. Why is that? Is that for the impending divorce that seems imminent? Or
well, let's go by the stats, right? I mean, most recent stat, I'd say half of marriages fail. That's probably pretty accurate, right? So already you're in a coin flip situation.
Yep, coin toss.
Right off the bat. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any guy who has gotten a divorce where he's come out on top. It's always the woman.
Look at Bezos.
Right. Yeah, she's the richest woman in the world now, right? Okay. So the fact that, and you don't even lose half in a divorce, right? Because you lose half off the top goes to her, but then you got to pay for the lawyer to pretty much take your money as well. So you're pretty much left with half of that. So you talk about a quarter, and then you start all over. Then you have to pay quote unquote alimony to her, and you keep paying her until what? She gets remarried. That's messed up.
And then you pay for her new kids.
You can technically do nothing wrong. Get divorced because she says I don't want to be married anymore, and then you're out.
We're hovering right at that level right now.
and then you're out like 2/3 of your money. It's like whoa, what the hey? That's messed up. So I have no problem with the ceremony, the ring, all that stuff. It's just signing.
Even though you're out 10 G's right there for no reason. You're out 10 G's before you even get married to buy the perfect rock.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta know a guy. If you know a guy, maybe a little less.
I wish I had known that guy. You know what I'm saying? But
I hear you.
But at the same time, we're living in 2021 now. The man isn't always the breadwinner. In fact, when just a public school teacher, we were on par in salary-wise for quite a bit of time. But you're going into relationships in the wrong way, I think, if you're already expecting if the coin toss is in the back of your mind when you're on Bumble or some of these other apps,
Well, I think you just have to be responsible and just have a contingency plan if X, Y, and Z happen. So it has to be in consideration, unfortunately. In these days, it has to be. You got to protect yourself, number one. Have to. You don't know what can happen.
Very true.
Just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, say, "I don't want to marry you," and then you just made the worst decision in your life because, like I said, then you're out half your stuff, and then that's if you don't have kids. But if you have kids, then then you got to pay alimony and child support and what have you.
What have you?
That's a whole nother. But I'm saying there's so much that goes into it, but it's just marriage is just it's a financial thing, right? Whether it's you get a tax write off. Right?
Oh yeah, love it.
You get benefits, right? She was a school teacher, so I don't know if you got her benefits, she got yours or whatever, but that's another reason why people get married. So it's official, you get their benefits, or if they die, you get their pension. So it's all legal stuff, but it has to do with money. It's all about money.
So your view is don't get married, and if I can chime in, don't have kids, just from previous experience. But
no, like I said, you have to take all this into account.
So you really have to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right to be able to put that all on the line.
I guess, but even now where I'm at, I had trust issues way before, but now I have even bigger trust issues now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Are you talking about trust funds or trust?
No, trust in general with your special someone. So I don't know. I don't know if marriage is for me personally.
Still, you got to think. I mean, if a woman is willing to dedicate time to, okay, I'm gonna woo Tommy C. I know he has hella cheddar in the bank. Let me woo him. We'll pop out some kids, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna divorce him just to snake 75% of his money. I mean, that's pretty hefty. You'd have to meet one malicious gal at Salty Dog for that to happen.
Well, they're out there. Well,
they're out there, sure, absolutely.
Why like I said, you can do everything without signing the contract. Like I said, you want to have the party, we can have the party or ceremony, however you want to call it. You want me to get you a ring? Fine, get you a ring. We can do all that. But signing that contract is the big stickler.
It's the money in the bank contract. Yep.
Because everything's like official according to the state.
Yeah. Now that you mention it,
right.
I probably should have signed probably should have read the fine print. I just went in there. It's like, yeah, it's kind of fun.
And then people tell me, well, Tom, we'll just sign a prenup. Well, I'll say, if I have to sign a contract in order to sign an original contract, I'm going to tell you that original contract, there's something wrong. You go to any business person and he says, oh, sign this contract, and the best case scenario for you is that you're going to keep half of what you have, and you have a 50-50 chance of it working out. He's going to say, screw you, don't do that deal. And then I tell you, oh, you have to sign another contract just to back you up on this contract, he's going to say, well, no
just to keep 50% of what you had. It reminds me of what LL Cool J said to J-Lo. Pride is what you have, baby girl. I'm what you had. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I mean, you got to take it from Uncle L in a way.
Right. I mean, I've talked about this with other people, and that especially with my age and where I'm at in life, they say, that marriage, especially now, is just a financial contract for you. Whether it's for benefits, whether it's for, I don't know, tax purposes, pension down the road that they get if you die.
Well, I mean,
otherwise you can live together and not be married.
Yeah.
You can have a kid together and not be married. You can buy a house, condo, whatever, and not be married.
Yep.
So
and a lot of people do it.
Why do you have to sign this contract?
A lot of people do it. And personally, for me, it was just, okay, everyone else is doing it. Why not me? It's the tradition. Same with, why do we go to Walgreens and pick up a card the night before Valentine's Day, or in my case, the morning of? It's just what you do. Okay, you go get married. She could be the one, the wifey. We were together for how many years? From 2005 till 2012. To finally
6 thorough background check.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just what you do, and now I necessarily?
That's another problem I have. That you said you're just doing it because everybody else is doing it. Oh, if everybody jumps off the bridge, you could jump off the bridge too.
Well, yeah. I mean, had I known,
and then the same people that tell me, get married, are the same people when they get married they say, don't get married. So what do you want me to do here?
the greatest advice I ever got was from a gentleman at work in his 60s, 70s. He said 3 very important things: don't get married, don't buy a house, and don't have kids. And I checked off all 3 boxes. But for me, marriage it's not the marriage that bothers me, or even bother isn't even the word. Marriage was fine. It's just in the back of your mind knowing that, okay, we're snowballing here to end of life. And the house that we bought here in New Jersey it's not necessarily a house so much as it is a coffin, because this is like it, you know? But I mean, I have a feeling that you might have different opinions had you met Mrs. Wright at Salty Dog in 2008, you know? I mean, maybe. The Bumble app, the Match.com, you know, the trust issues that you've struggled with that are well documented on this podcast.
Right.
I have a feeling you might think a bit differently had you have met the girl of your dreams, you know, Salty Dog 2009.
Well, I think I'm a believer that people are born to do certain things and they're born not to do certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, Beethoven, Mozart, right? They were born to play the piano. It didn't matter. It was in their deck of cards. It was in their genes, DNA, however you want to say it. And I think I was born not to be married. It wasn't in my cards, not in my DNA. Some people were made to do certain things, and some people were not made to do certain things.
Well, now with the COVID shots going and mixing with your DNA and your mRNA, maybe that might change your chemistry a bit if you get the vaccine, and maybe it will be in your cards, you know? Something to think about.
Well, like I said, at my stage and my age, would you recommend me to get married? What's the benefit of me getting married at this stage of my life?
Yeah, marriage. I mean,
I'm waiting for a positive. No. I've asked a lot of people, and I haven't heard a positive.
It's
besides financial.
It's the mutual trust in each other that you're going to survive that coin toss.
I don't know, man. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell never got married, have kids, and been happy for like 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's working for them. Then you have other people who just love to get married and remarried and keep going to that well. But that's just not me. I wasn't born that way.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's okay. It's all right. You learn, you grow as you get older. You go through your experiences. Some people, marriage is great for. My parents, marriage is great. Worked out. Your parents, great. Worked out. Knock on wood for you guys. So far, so good. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not on my cards. And I think things went so badly in my previous relationships because my DNA knew, Tom, this is not for you.
Mm-hmm. And you know,
long-term relationships not for you. Marriage is not for you. And I didn't see the signs, but now I've seen the signs, and I realize you just got to be okay with it. So I'm okay with it.
And at the same time, I'm sure there are other ladies out there. In fact, all the ladies listening right now, I'm sure there are others that share the same viewpoint as you, as a woman, that are like, okay, well, I don't believe in this marriage system, but you know,
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly,
there's nothing wrong with it.
I agree. I mean, obviously, you're on the wrong side of 40, my friend. So am I. I'm sure you get a lot of pressure, Tom. What the are you doing with your life, my friend? Go out there, meet someone. Yeah, where are my grandkids? All that stuff. But you know, if it's not in your cards, that's obviously it's your truth, you know, as they say. Nothing wrong with that.
When you got the grandma who's 103 years old hammering into you every day, you know, get married, you know, she wants to see a great grandma, you know. You got to tell them, no,
yep.
Not for me.
There's a lot of, not for me, not today.
So, you know, to see the disappointment on their face all the time,
yeah,
makes you feel good inside.
Well, I mean,
is what it is.
As the Italian Americans growing up, I mean, that was always the case. Even, you know, when we were 15, you got a girlfriend, you're getting married. Come on, where are you going? So I know the pressure.
Yeah.
I never.
And then you get a guma on the side. So what was the point of getting married to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, I never personally viewed it as a financial what have you. I just saw it as, okay, let's get her done, you know? I mean,
I didn't either. But then over the years, you start to notice and realize, oh, well, crap, this contract is bad.
Yeah, if I can find the original source document and reread it, maybe I'll have more opinion on it. But for me, I don't even remember, finding the financial clause that 50% is going to the wifey if we split. I would need an independent fact checker on that one. Maybe Snopes is listening today.
You have to talk to one of your lawyer friends.
Mm-hmm. Stigger.
Get the 411. But I don't know if that changed for you. Like, did you have to change your license because you got married in New York, but now you're in Jersey? Did you have to transfer over your quote unquote marriage license?
If we had to, we definitely didn't. So it's still in Kings County, my friend. It's Kings County Clerk Office.
Isn't that strange, right? When you moved, you had to surrender your New York driver's license.
And license plates,
license. License plates, right? Like I said, we mentioned our lawyer. If you got you're able to practice law in the state of New York. If you move to Jersey,
same with teaching.
You're holding the process, right?
Same with teaching. Yep.
So why is that not with the marriage certificate? Wouldn't it be the same? It's a license. So wouldn't it?
Is it a binding contract? Well, it's a good question.
Oh, it's 100% a binding contract.
Maybe that's the loophole. Well, we never transferred it. Now we're in New Jersey. I got to keep that 50% now. So that's a question for your lawyer friends. And if we have lawyers listening, please phone us in. We'll have the email address on our website. I believe it's close to the edge pod@gmail.com, but we'll take a look at that and reconfirm.
Double check that
on Twitter and Instagram.
Sounds good.
So so we know marriage isn't for you. What about the big L, my friend? All the listeners are wanting to know. The big L, in love. Is it in your cards, my friend? And if it is, how are you going to get there?
Is it in my cards? I don't know. How am I going to get there? I don't know. It's not something I'm concerned about.
It's nothing you're pursuing.
It's not something I'm worried about or pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
Something I used to worry about, I used to pursue, and now I'm not. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't,
exactly.
It's not something.
That's the way to live life, my friend.
It's not going to change. It's not going to change my life. I can be happy either way.
It's like we used to say, whatever you want to do, I'm good either way.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's just what it is. Could it add to my life? Sure.
But it could also subtract 50%, my friend.
Right. Or, it could be, a headache, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to say,
like I said, all my friends who get married tell me, Tom, don't get married. You don't deal with the headaches, in-laws, and kids, and neighbors, house. I'm like,
yeah.
So if I don't learn from that, then who's the idiot?
Well, I got to say, as someone who's been married for, long time, since 2012, you do the math, and with the same person for however many years, 14, 15, 17, I can't even count. There are days when I think to myself, wow, I should have just taken the Tommy C route, stay at home, just game all day, even though you don't game. But I mean, I could clock so many hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey by myself. Now I have to wait till like 9 p.m. Are there days... Sure, especially my sick apartment in Bay Ridge, 99th Street. Those were the days. But at the same time, it's such a fleeting moment that I think, oh, well, it could have been sick, because you are missing out in the human experience, which is to crap out some kids. There are no. I think you said one of the previous podcasts. The days are long, but the years are short. There's nothing more true than that, because even though it's, the long days are like miserable, just to see the kids growing up and seeing how they interact with each other. You met Viv, she's a sweetheart, her sister, she's been a great big sister. I believe that's the human experience, really, why we're here on planet Earth, is to crap out kids and continue the legacy. So I'd hate to see the legacy end here. So I do hope that you find Mrs. Right.
Like I said, who knows? You never know.
And there's no, yeah, exactly. You just gotta.
Things can change in the blink of an eye.
You said it, mister.
But that was my rant. I mean, it's good to talk it out, hear your point of view,
Yeah.
and go from there. Like I said, this is ever changing. If I get new facts and information, my opinion can change.
And also not only just facts and opinions, but experience as well, my friend.
Right, experiences too, sure.
Which is,
the world ever goes back to being somewhat open,
that's it.
and maybe we meet new people. But
Ready to mingle. Yep.
We're happy being ourselves.
And that's all you can be, my friend.
That's right.
And on that note, I think that that wraps up episode 6. So thanks for listening in. If you have comments, opinions, or want to talk about how sexist we may have sounded about the 50%, please feel free to comment and troll on this video. We're also going to be uploading these to Stitcher and iTunes and everywhere where you enjoy your favorite podcasts in the audio format, but this is also the audio-visual perspectives to give you that true 3D sensory experience. So we hope you enjoyed. Have a lot more coming up to the podcast, and we will be pushing out content weekly, bi-weekly. Maybe we slip. Maybe we do 2 in 1 week. The only thing certain about Close to the Edge podcast is nothing is for sure. So, Tommy C, any final thoughts, or you want to take a Jerry Springer moment? Feel free.
Well, I think the best way to stay up to date would be to subscribe, obviously, to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Like, comment,
exactly.
Share.
It helps the algorithm. Everyone knows it.
Helps the algorithm, right? And we've done this in past episodes, but if you leave a question, we can do a Q&A on
100%.
And then you can also follow us at Close to the Edge Pod on Twitter, and then Close to the Edge Podcast on Instagram. And follow us everywhere.
And you'll be setting up that TikTok for us as well. And you can also find us on Bumble, Close to the Edge Pod. We'll be there.
I don't know about that. I'll tell the wife about that.
All right. Well, it's been real, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
All right. Take care.
You take care now.